there! This is the 5th installment of Zanadu Recommendations on the YouTube. I'm Howard Boyd. I'm the manager here at Zanadu Comics. This is my first time behind the camera, and I'm here tonight with...
Morgan Brown, once again, your resident attic troll, here to tell you about things I like.
There you go. Why don't you start off?
All right. Where to start? Okay, so something I'm really excited for right now. The 0 issue of Green Lantern New Guardians. This is Kyle Rayner, my, I'd say, favorite Green Lantern, along... What? Is there something wrong with Kyle Rayner?
There's nothing wrong with Kyle Rayner.
He's cool. He's
Hal
really
Jordan
cool.
is Green Lantern.
He has a crab mask. Green Lantern New Guardians is getting a new artist with this issue, Aaron Cooter, who I totally plugged last week, who drew the newest issue of Avenging Spider-Man with the Deadpool guest star, who does absolutely fantastic work. Sort of a cross between a light Doug Mahnke and a bit of Guillaume March, the cover artist for this issue, and also a lot of Frank Quitely influence in there, I think. But he does absolutely fantastic work on this book. I'm just really happy to have a Kyle Rayner book with an artist I can agree with. That's all I ask for.
There you go. I've got a number 0 issue picked this week too. This is the Justice League number 0. We have been following the story of Billy Batson being introduced into the New 52 world in the backup stories of Justice League for the last several months. Now we get to see the culmination of all those cool little backup stories. This is all Billy Batson all the time in this issue. He meets the wizard Shazam, he gets his powers, he goes kaboom, he says Shazam, and turns into the world's mightiest mortal, finally. We get to see, I'm looking forward to seeing his journey as discovering what it is to be a hero. I'm in star mode today. 2 different Star Trek books came out this week. The ongoing Star Trek from IDW, where they're springing off in the alternate timeline that was presented in the J.J. Abrams movie of a couple years back. They have been following different original series stories in a couple of 2 and 3 part issues. This one, however, it's a standalone issue that focuses on the red shirts! Yes! Everybody's favorite. So there's very tangential reference to an original series episode in this issue, but it's a red shirt sending a letter home to his parents, and it has all the characters that and characteristics of these characters that Abrams introduced in the movie, including an incredibly funny sequence with Simon Pegg's Montgomery Scott. Probably the best addition of comic relief in the Star Trek universe in a long time. He's all over the place. But the other Star Trek book this week is Next Generation storyline, The Hive. Yes, the Borg are back. It starts in the 29th century. The Borg have finally assimilated the entire galaxy, and they still have not found perfection. And it is up to Locutus of Borg.
The rapper?
No. The Picard, as he was assimilated back in the Next Generation.
Not Locutus, the rapper with the nasty hair and leather jacket?
No. He does have nasty hair, but that's because he's Picard. But we have a return of Picard's great love, Vash, the archaeologist. We have the return of 7 of 9 in a surprise cameo. We have a return of the Borg Queen. It is a epic that's going to span centuries backwards and forwards in time. If you like the Borg, this is for you. It is actually written by Brannon Braga, one of the creative influences behind the whole Next Generation phenomenon.
From Dark Horse here we have another Lobster Johnson one-shot, Caput Mortuum? I think I said that right. Don't hold me to that, though.
You actually did a very good job, thank you.
Thanks a lot. This is just sweet, pulpy Lobster Johnson stuff. It's everything you would expect. Airships, the fucking awesome airship battles over some large city I would like to say is New York, but I'm once again not going to hold myself to that. But what this does definitely have is people melting into pools of blood. And Lobster Johnson burning his mark into lots of Nazi foreheads, which is really all you need from a Lobster Johnson story.
He has the claw. Back into space mode here. The Womanthology came out a few months back in a large anthology book. They've now gone into a comic book-sized anthology series now. The first miniseries being called, subtitled Space. Womanthology, as the title seems to indicate, is an anthology all of women creators with stories of interest to women and men. This first issue has 5 different stories in it. You get a great mix of folks, from the likes of Bonnie Burton and Jessica Hittman writing a little vignette of a story about a alien waitress in a space diner who is looking for her Mr. Right, with unaware that the female lesbian robot bus girl is actually enamored of her as well. Go figure. We've got other great stuff in here. Alison Ross and Stephanie Hans read a really compelling story, illustrated by Stephanie Hans as well, about just finding their way back into outer space, the U.S. rejoining the space race in the year 2040, this time racing against the Chinese. And we've got, The Adventures of Princess Plutonia, in the style of the old newspaper serials like Flash Gordon, and who's that other one?
Prince Valiant?
Prince Valiant type stuff, yeah, that's outer space, yeah. So we've got Ming Doyle with Jordi Belair doing, or Ming Doyle writing and doing the art in this really, really cool. It's just a 2-pager, but really captures the Alex Raymond feel for really cool adventure stories with, of course, a female protagonist.
Something that I'm going to plug for the absent Casey is Godzilla Half-Century War #2, drawn, written, lettered, colored, inked by James Stokoe.
Yay!
You can't not love James Stokoe. You can't not love Godzilla. You can't not love James Stokoe doing Godzilla. Everything about it is wonderful. There's really not too much that I can say beyond James Stokoe Godzilla. Honestly, what more needs to be said there?
Read it. Drool on it. But buy it first.
Buy 2 copies so you can have one to drool on and one to keep pristine for the rest of your life.
Yep. You're going to want to cut out all the pages and post them up in a sequence on your wall. There you go. The Before Watchmen is traveling along at a brisk pace these days. The new Night Owl, issue #3, is out now. We're finding more and more about the mystery of the disappearing and murdered prostitutes that he's been following along. We find a little bit more about Rorschach, Walter Kovacs, in his non-Rorschach identity in this issue as well. I'm not going to give away too much. But one thing that I really noticed in this one is that, Dan Dreiberg, he is a player. He is making out on the cover with this chick who's helping him, explore the mystery behind the missing prostitutes. Not quite sure whether she might be one of them or not. As we read through, we'll probably be finding out more towards the end of the series. But he gets around, definitely. One thing I meant to talk about with the Night Owl is this is J. Michael Straczynski writing with Andy Kubert art. The inking has been done by Joe Kubert. He was working on this when he passed away recently. The inking chores on this issue were picked up by Bill Sienkiewicz, who does an incredible job of matching Kubert's style. It's really hard to tell the difference as you're reading through where one left off and one took on. I think Sienkiewicz did a great tribute to Joe on the finishing up of this issue.
And really, if there's anyone you're going to get to follow up Joe Kubert as an inker, you're going to get Bill Sienkiewicz to do it. Now, over in the Marvel superheroes side of things, we've got Daredevil issue 18 by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. This has just been, like, legitimately one of the best superhero books in years. It's on par there with Immortal Iron Fist, which I will say is really, like, in my top 5 superhero books ever. It's just, like, they managed to avoid so many of the less great things of superhero comics these days. There's no 6-part storylines that you feel could be compressed into, like, 2 issues. It'll be 2 issues of non-stop breakneck fun. Actual fun in these comics. It's amazing how they can do that. And the art, of course, you had the first 6 or 7 or so issues were drawn by Paulo Rivera and Marcos Martin, 2 of the best artists working at Marvel these days. No qualms, hands down, the best. And they've recently handed off the reins on art to Chris Samney, who has not, despite the huge shoes to fill, he has not let down one bit. And Mark Waid's scripts stay great, stay amazing. The last couple issues, they had the Mike Allred issue with Stiltman. You had Hank Pym going around inside Daredevil's brain fighting tiny robots. You had, as featured in the new this week Volume 3 hardcover, Doctor Doom, Daredevil in Latveria. Everything is better with Doom. This is a known fact. Everything.
Winter Soldier, trade paperback just came out. This is the longest winter. It's volume 1 of the ongoing series, following the trials and tribulations of Bucky as he was making his way back from presumed dead, and his
Well, you see, he wasn't ever actually dead. There was an LMD and a big hammer involved, and it's all very complicated.
Yeah. But
also Infinity Serum.
And, well, Infinity Serum always helps everything. So. But this one also has Doom involved. Everything's better with Doom. So if you've been wondering what's been going on with Bucky, rumor has it that he's going to be featured in the next coming up Captain America movie. So if you're interested in the Captain America movies, you might want to find out a little bit more about the origins of those characters before they hit the big screen.
It's a really great book. If you've felt any of Brubaker's stuff lacking in the espionage department lately, check this out. It's pure awesome spy goodness with giant gorillas with Gatling guns. Giant, I'm pretty sure, communist gorillas with Gatling guns.
Well, of course.
Because really, how do you make a giant gorilla with a Gatling gun more threatening? Make it a communist.
Make him commie, yep. There you go. There's a lot of really good stuff coming out this week. It doesn't look that impressive if you look at the shipping list, because it's a fairly small shipping week. But almost everything that we put out on the racks today, I can stand behind. There's a new Peanuts book out that I'm really excited to see.
There's the Wonder Woman Zero issue as well, which... Okay, so I am completely in love with this new volume of Wonder Woman. It is so incredibly solid through and through, even with an alternating art team. You never feel let down by a single issue. There's a new twist in every one. You have some of the greatest plays on words that I have seen in so long, and then you also have giant krakens and freaking, like, centaur beasts popping out of horses, and minotaurs and Ares, who looks exactly like Brian Azzarello these days. It's great.
It's a good week to come on down to your local comic shop, especially if your local comic shop is Zanadu. Come on down, the doors will be open Wednesday morning. Come in, and all week after that, too.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
See you next week.